Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
There's a few referendums coming up in 2019. One of them is the divorce referendum, and basically what we're being asked to do is, do we want to speed up the divorce process? That's really it.
Yeah, well, divorce for a couple that are married is a very sad affair, especially if there's children involved. That's number one. The idea of speeding it up is the type of liberal agenda that this despicable government have been guilty of. They've already brought in same-sex marriage and calling marriage equality. They've brought in abortion and calling it getting rid of Amendment 8 and pro-choice as if it was something good, when it's going to be quite serious and going to result in the deaths of children that could otherwise be born. Hence the population in this country and in other countries with married people has declined. Is this why they brought in all these people from other countries, East Europe and Africa and South America and God knows where? So this is the situation that we're in. Now, divorce obviously is going to impact very severely on any children that's in the family. That is well known and makes them very vulnerable for to perhaps do the same. Society and the laws should try to improve the quality for married people to stay married. There should be a bar on getting divorced until such time as to have counselling. As a matter of fact, before they even get married, they should have counselling in a spiritual context, and in a context where instead of thinking of themselves all the time, they think of the other person and they know the person fairly good before they get married, so that they have some understanding of what's required. And when I say know them, being going out and having conversations and not indulging in weekends away and too much alcohol and all this. That clouds the mind, and oftentimes with marriage they don't do a preliminary course to get to know the effects of living with another person can be. It doesn't matter how well you might feel that you are very fond of them. Love is a very strange word to use when people are getting married. It's been overdone, it's been far overdone, and it should signify more than just the physical aspect of the marriage. It should also incorporate the emotional, spiritual and moral dimensions also, because without respect in a marriage, starting off, if it's not founded on those type of issues and understood by both people, well then the foundation is not there for the marriage, and this state with its liberal agenda that has resulted in the collapse of society, now they want to help the collapse of marriages. They've collapsed the economy in this country, that farmers were producing no fruit and vegetables, and now here they're at this racket of destroying the family. Is there anything that they can build on?
The government does seem to be very anti-family. I mean, it's pro-abortion. It's other referendums in the past are very anti-family.
Well. You see, this is it. But I presume we'll have the silence from the bishops, the shepherds that we have in this country. After all, they've been silent in those two referendums we spoke about. Also, the blasphemy referendum. That's 3. We can take it that this government, I hope they'll be defeated when there's a general election, and any of them that supported abortion and all the rest of it, like the Fianna Fáil and Sinn Féin, I hope they're wiped out. But this government, instead of bringing in items to strengthen the family, this is what they're at. Don't forget that over the years, it was tax-wise, it was more beneficial for people to live together than get married. When they got married, they suffered more penalties. they have encouraged the women in the marriage, the wives, to work outside the home, putting strain on them as running the home, and putting strain on children that they have, because there's no mother at home when they come home from school. Oftentimes that they're there on their own, or they're in a creche or somewhere, because these people are living such busy lives that having children nearly seems to be an inconvenience. We know that now the number of children by couples is usually 1 or 2, and maybe 3 at the outset. So they have small families, and hence they haven't got enough to replace the needs of society. It has happened in all these European countries with their liberal and secular agenda. We didn't have this problem when we had a secure, safe society, when the Catholic faith and the Christian faith was practiced by the majority of people.
So, if somebody was to ask John Malone, how should I vote in this referendum, the divorce referendum?
Well, certainly I advise anyone to vote no. As a matter of fact, if they had an opportunity to vote against divorce under any circumstances, I'd suggest vote no, because it undermines families. It was brought in and passed by a very narrow majority, less than 1%, less than 0.5%. Now, that being the case, so people had a respect for marriage and know that anything that you bring in that weakens the marriage bond is bad. I would suggest also that the bishops and the priests speak out about these matters, and the media, because one can't understand the media with their obsession with this liberal agenda that has resulted in the collapse of society in this country. We have more murders and suicides and antisocial behaviour than ever in my time, when the majority practice a Christian faith, and the Catholic faith in particular, in this country. So here we are now, and the practice of the Catholic faith has declined with young people, because they're not taught it in their schools, or in the primary and secondary schools. Hence, these are people then that probably getting married, because this business of the Catholic faith was not taught since the 1970s. So all this has come about since that date. Before that, people separated, but they didn't get divorced, and there was an understanding to respect the children. There was an understanding and a respect for the sanctity of life. All that's been done away with, and it's going to lead to chaos as this divorce, this new referendum. A pity they wouldn't put in the referendum about the business of banning it altogether. That'd be more responsible, but we can't expect anything from a government that brought in abortion and same-sex marriage and various other evils.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much.